most, the Naira continuing its upward surge, as many people like to say, in the markets by way of how it's performing against the dollar.
Hi, Lerato, you're absolutely right. The Naira has been gaining recently, and I think there's a general view that that will be the focus of the Monetary Policy Committee meeting today, which is holding, and we should be getting the interest rate decision very soon. And generally, the view is that interest rates will probably stay where they are. It's very unlikely that the central bank will move rates. However, what many people are looking to hear, though, is the foreign exchange policy tools that might be used to stem the trend which we've seen with the foreign reserves of the federal government. That number has actually trended to as low as $37 billion over the last few months. So there's some interest on that. But coming back to the equity market, just like you said, it lost just less than 1/3% today. And the general weak, or should I say negative sentiment with regards to the equity market continues to pervade the system. For the quarter, we've seen the NSE down almost 1% now. Beyond Friday, we've seen the index drop every single day this quarter so far. So generally, I think a lot of people are just waiting to see how things will develop with regards to the asset management company of the central bank, which obviously is supposed to support the banking sector and to move things forward in that regard. And coming to the movers today, we saw, for instance, the rescued banks was a good day for them. We saw Bank PHB, Afribank, Oceanic Bank all gain almost 4.7%. But on the downside, we saw Springbank that released positive numbers last week. We saw that counter come down 4.7%. So it's very interesting, the trend we're seeing recently.
Okay, so that's what's happening basically on the market front. We've gotten a lot of news concerning the quarterly results of some of those rescued banks which are under the spotlight regarding the AMC that's going to be coming into effect very soon. But what about results from other sectors? Talk to us about the food and beverage sector and Dangote Sugar.
Well, yes, Dangote Sugar is one counter that has been in the spotlight. Today it lost about 4%, and interestingly, what we saw when the results were released last week, which are generally disappointing numbers, we saw that the stock price went up, possibly because of the interest of some investors for the dividend. The company was paying a Naira dividend, which translates to about a 5% dividend yield. So some investors were looking to participate in that, but today we saw that the counter came down, and maybe some other investors are reacting to those numbers now. We saw first quarter PAT down 39%. So sorry, I mean that was the full year number. It was down 39%, even though the first quarter numbers are much better, but we still continue to see some pressure on that counter. In particular, the company has cited the rising sugar prices in the international market has been a factor. It's been difficult for them to cope with that. And as you know, raw sugar is the major raw material for Dangote Sugar. And then, of course, there's also the issue of the exchange rate in 2009, which put the company under significant pressure. And obviously, that has increased their cost base because most of their raw materials are imported.
All right, and I mean, we're talking about Dangote Sugar Refinery, and we can't exclude the fact that Nigeria has severe power issues, energy supply issues, and the cost of power. Has that been a factor in terms of a drop in the earnings for Dangote Sugar, just affecting their ability to operate effectively?
Well, it's a bit hard to say. I think the positive for Dangote Sugar, though, is that their power energy is pretty much gas powered. They power their plants with gas, and that has obviously brought down the cost compared to what other manufacturers in Nigeria are dealing with regards to LPFO, which is generally, it's either LPFO or diesel that most manufacturers are using in Nigeria. So Dangote Sugar, I think they've got it right strategically in terms of their power base, but the other factors that I raised, I think, are still putting them under pressure. I think one other factor that has put them under pressure, obviously, is the entry of a new player. The Bua Group has become a formidable player in the sugar industry today. 2 or 3 years ago, I think Dangote Sugar was clearly the monopoly, but that has changed a bit now. So they are definitely feeling some pressure.